Okay, situation number 1. A wide flange steel beam is used as a prop beam, 6 meters long and subjected to a uniformly distributed dead load of 26.7 kilonewton meters or kilonewton per meter. You're given area, depth ng wide flange, thickness ng web, and yung mga elastic section modulus. Pati na rin yung mga plastic section modulus. So which of the following gives the maximum live load in kilonewton per meter the beam can carry based on its design moment strength by LRFD with resistance factor of 0.9 for flexure. Assume the limiting state of yielding and use Fy equals 248 megapascal. Okay, so for number 1, so una, no, yung beam down natin is prop. So ibig sabihin, it is parang siyang cantilever tapos meron siyang roller, no, sa dulo, sa free end. Okay? So obviously, kahit hindi sabihin, automatic na yun, dapat na ang orientation ng beam natin is ganito. No? So hindi naman, unless specified na nakabaliktad, pero automatic na yan, no? Because we are designing for kung ano yung pinaka-optimum sa strength niya. So, ibig sabihin, bending ito about its major axis. No? Tapos meron daw uniformly distributed load. Okay? Because pinapagamit LRFD, we know that we should be factoring this load or meron tayong load combination. So, ibig sabihin, yung load dito is W sub U. No? So, well, hinahanap niya ano daw yung maximum live load. So, ang ultimate load will be equal to 1.2 ng dead load plus 1.6 ng live load. That is our load combination, no? Ang given sa atin, actually given yung ito, no, yan yung uniform dead load. Actually total na yan kasi kung titingnan natin sa problem, wala namang binigay na self-weight. No, wala naman yung self-weight ng section. So it's safe to assume na yan na yung total yung binigay. So ibig sabihin, kailangan lang natin makompute to based sa based sa capacity niya sa flexure. Kapag nakuha mo to, makocompute mo to. No, yun yung tinatanong. Okay? So ang tanong, ano yung maximum moment dito sa prop beam? Kasi kung ito ay simply supported, we know that that's WL squared over 8. Kaya lang ito ay prop, no? So kung kabisado nyo, it's good. Kung hindi, you can always derive, no? Kapag prop, pwede nyo na kagad tandaan na yung reaction dito ay 3 over 8 WL. Kung ito ay L, no? Tapos yung reaction dito would be 5 over 8, obviously. WUL, no? So paano nakuha yan? Ang galing lang yan doon sa deflection. Bali parang lumalabas na, di ba? Kabisado dapat dati kung ano yung deflection due to the uniform load, no? Ano yun? WL to the fourth over 8 EI. Tapos yung deflection naman due to the concentrated load at the free end, yun naman ay PL cube over 3 EI. So kapag in-equate mo yun, lalabas yung 3 over 8. Na doon galing itong 3 over 8. Kaya kung ito ang kabisado mo, okay na yan, goods na yan. Kasi malalaman mo na kagad kung ano yung reaction sa kabila. Eh di yung ano lang, yung total kasi nito, di ba? WU times L, ima-minus mo lang yung 3 over 8, lalabas 5 over 8. Okay? Kaya kahit hindi mo kabisado yung lahat, no? Kahit isa lang, kahit ito lang. Okay? And then, we can also calculate here yung moment. No? Yung maximum moment. No? Nasa ano yon, nasa fixed end yon kapag prop, yung maximum moment. Kaya lang negative yan. Anyway, to calculate that, bali, ano lang tayo, mag-moment lang tayo dito. Tawagin natin itong A, tawagin natin itong B. So, moment lang tayo sa A, equal to 0, assuming counterclockwise passing. So, guys, I'm doing this just in case na nakalimutan mo during the exam, no? Yung formula. Okay? Pero kung kabisado mo na yung formula, it's good. Use it right away, no? So, anyway, kunyari nakalimutan ko nga yung moment dito. So, MU, o di magiging MU, tapos yung WU, that is WU times L, no? Tapos ang moment arm mo is L over 2. So, magiging WU times L over 2. Tapos ang rotation nito ay clockwise. So gawin nating negative. And then we have here 3/8. 3/8 WU times L. Tapos ang moment arm niyan is obviously L, kaya i-square ko na lang to. Tapos ang rotation niya ay counterclockwise. Okay, and that is all equal to 0. No, all equal to 0. So therefore, our maximum moment would be okay, bali, ano yan? 3/8, or should I say 1/2 minus 3/8. Okay, that's 1/8. Or lumalabas lang, WU L squared over 8. So kagaya lang pala siya ng simply supported. No? Kung kabisado mo yun kanina, again, ano lang, no? Just use it right away. Okay? So anyway, from here, kailangan natin ngayon ma-define yung capacity, no? Flexural capacity, no? Flexure capacity. Okay? Tapos sabi, ang limit state is yielding. Okay? Kung naalala pa, ang limit state na yielding, ang nominal strength nun ay Fy Zx. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ang capacity natin, phi Mn, would be equal to, di ba yung phi 0.9? Ang Fy 248 ba? Given. Ito, no? 248. Tapos yung Zx is 4.14. Hindi ko nalalagay yung times 10 to the 6 kasi di-divide din naman natin to ng 10 to the 6 para maging kilonewton meter. So 0.9 times 248 times 4.14. Ayan. So that is 924.048 kilonewton meter. So that is our design strength. So bali, ang gagawin lang natin, ito dapat hindi lalagpas dun sa capacity. Okay? So from there, we can solve for WU. So yung WU, kailangan hindi lalagpas or equal sa, ano natin? So ito na sagot natin, lalagay ko dito, cross multiply yung 8, divide yung L squared. So times 8 divided by L squared. Ang L nga pala natin ay 6, no? 6 nga ba? Ayan, no? 6 meters. Okay, so lalabas na WU, 205.344. 205.344 kilonewtons per meter. Okay, so ngayon, equate na natin yan dito sa load combination natin. So, mangyayari, kailangan 1.2 ng dead load. Ano yung dead load? 26.7 plus 1.6 ng live load ay hindi dapat lalagpas sa ultimate uniform load galing sa flexural capacity. So lumalabas na yung live load natin hindi dapat lalagpas sa minus 1.2 times 26.7. Tapos divide natin ng 1.6. Okay, and this will be our service live load, 108.315. Okay, and that will be our answer. So this is for number 1, no? Letter A. Okay? Next, which of the following gives the maximum live load the beam can carry based on its design shear strength naman by LRFD, no? So for number 2, design shear strength. So ang design shear strength naman, phi Vn ay equal sa phi. Actually, sinabi niya na yung formula eh, no? Kailangan daw yung nominal strength, yung shear stress daw at nominal strength ay 0.6 Fy, no? 0.6 Fy. Di ba, kung yan ay stress, para maging force, multiply mo ng area. Tapos kapag kapag wide flange or kapag steel na beam, no, automatic yon na ang dinidesign lang natin against shear is yung web. Ito lang. Ito kasing critical sa sa shear, no, yung web. Kaya yung maging area natin, area ng web. Okay, which is yan? Yung depth times yung thickness ng web. Okay? So sa NECP ito ay 0.6 Fy times area ng web times meron pa dito yung CV, no? Pero sabi sa problem, yung CV daw na gagamit, ito yun, web shear coefficient. Ito yun, CV. Okay? So, sabi, 1 lang daw yan, no? So, ibig sabihin, computin na natin. We have, yung fee natin for shear, 1 din, sabi sa problem. Ito, resistance factor. Okay, yan yung fee natin for shear. So, tapos, 0.6 FY area ng web, no? So, area ng web is yung depth. Ang depth natin ay, ito, 540. Ang thickness ng web natin ay 12.5. Okay, tapos CV is 1. So, magiging sagot natin dito ay naka-Newton. So, divide lang natin ng 1,000 para maging kilonewton. Hmm. 540 times 12.5. Okay, divided by 1,000. Okay, so 1,004.4. So 1,004.4 kilonewtons. Okay? So that is our design capacity for web shear or for shear. So sa ano natin, sa beam natin, halata naman no, na ito na yung magiging maximum shear natin, 'di ba? Kasi magiging itsura lang naman diyan ng ano, shear diagram ay aangat, no? Aangat to ng ang value ay itong 5/8 WL tapos bababa. Tapos aangat ulit. So ganyan yung magiging itsura ng shear diagram. Okay? Na kung saan ang maximum shear ito. Okay? So 5/8 WU. So equate lang natin to ngayon. So ibig sabihin ito, kailangan mas malaki yan, no? Mas malaki yan dun sa ultimate shear strength or shear force applied on the beam, which is yung 5/8 W. So ibig sabihin 5/8 WU L should not exceed 1,004.4. Okay? And therefore, from here, yung W should not exceed. So, times 8 divide 5 divide 6. Yung L ay 6. So, ang W natin is 267.84. 267.84 kilonewton per meter. And then, once again, because we are in LRFD, kailangan 1.2 nung dead load plus 1.6 ng hinahanap natin na live load should not exceed 267.84. Okay, so therefore the uniform live load should not exceed minus 1.2 times 26.7 over 1.6. So 147.375 kilo Newton per meter. Okay, so that is for number 2. So nasaan yun? 147. Ayan. Okay. Next, number 3. Which of the following gives the maximum live load in kilonewton per meter the beam can carry based on allowable deflection due to live load only of L/360? So ngayon naman, ang kailangan natin ma-figure out, ano ba ang deflection kapag prop? Ano ba yung maximum deflection kapag prop beam? No? Well, dito, pwede tayong mamili ng method na gagamitin natin. Pwede tayong gumamit ng double integration method, area moment method, pwede rin ang conjugate beam method. So, it really depends on your preference, no? So, for this example, I will use double integration method. Again, this is only kung hindi natin kabisado yung maximum deflection, no, ng prop beam, no. Pero kung kabisado niyo naman, they make use of that. Pero ako hindi ko kasi kabisado, so I'll just derive. Okay, so we have this is our beam. No? So ayan. Okay? Tapos alam na natin yung mga reactions dito, no? So lagyan mo natin ang load. Okay, so WU, no? Actually, kapag ka um deflections, under kasi yan ang serviceability na limit state, no? So actually, kailangan dito is naka-service. Okay? Pag deflection, tandaan yan ha. Hindi fina-factor yung load. Kasi hindi naman yan, wala naman siyang kinalaman sa strength design. May kinalaman siya sa serviceability design. And sa serviceability design, from the term itself, you must use service loads. Okay? So anyway, yan na. So ibig sabihin, kung ano yung makukompute natin dito mamaya, yan na yung live load natin, no? Tapos, alam natin yung reaction dito na 3/8 WL. Tapos dito naman ay 5/8 WL. Tapos alam na natin yung moment dito na WL squared over 8. Okay? Tapos di ba pagka magse-set up tayo ng equation ng double integration method, DIM. That is simply EI y double prime is equal to the moment. Okay? Tapos yung moment natin is magka-cut lang tayo, no? So let's say, kinat natin to. Okay? Tapos dito tayo nakatingin. Okay? Tapos kinat natin siya sa distance na x, kunwari. Okay? So, bali ang mangyari lang, mag-moment lang tayo dito. No? Kung ano yung lalabas dito na moment. Ito rin yun. Okay? So, ano yung mga moment dyan? So, we have EI y double prime equals, unahin ko na ito, WL squared over 12. So, counterclockwise, so negative siya. Negative WL squared over 8. Okay, tapos itong 5/8 WL, so 5/8 WL, ang moment arm mo is yung X. Okay, tapos ang rotation niya ay clockwise, so plus. And then what else? So take note, meron ka ditong uniform load, no? So yung W, ang distance na to ay X, tapos ang moment arm niya ay half. So lalabas X times X over 2 or simply X squared over 2. And then ang rotation nun ay counterclockwise. So ima-minus ko. Okay? So yan na yan. No? So actually pwede nyo nang lagyan ng values, pero ako gusto ko kasi naka-general siya. So anyway, anong next? Kailangan natin integrate yan. No? So next is EI y prime. So integral. So take note yung WL, constant yan. So ang variable natin dito is yung x. So ito walang x. So therefore, WL squared over 8 times x. Plus, ito naman, ito magiging x squared, no? Tapos i-divide tayo ng 2, kaya magiging 5/16 WL x squared. Minus, ito naman, W x cubed over 2 times 3, 6. Plus, meron tayo ditong constant. Okay? And then, dito pa lang meron na tayong pwedeng gamitin na boundary condition. So yung boundary condition natin is, di ba, since ito ay fixed, so dyan sa point na yan, kailangan walang slope. Kasi ang itsura ng ano natin dyan, ganito eh. Ganyan, no? Ganyan yung magiging elastic curve natin. So ibig sabihin, wala dapat slope dyan. So meaning, at x is equal to 0, the slope must be 0. Kasi fixed siya. No? So dahil doon, we can already calculate C1. So substitute lang natin dito 0, 0, 0, tas 0 to. So lalabas lang C1 is 0. Okay? So next, kunin natin yung EIY. So again, integrate lang natin ulit. Magiging negative WL squared. Ito ay magiging x squared na over 8 times 2 is 16. Plus, ito naman is magiging x cubed over 3. So 3 times 16 is 48. So 5WL x cubed over 48. Minus WX to the fourth over 6 times 4, 24. WX to the fourth over 24. Okay, plus, 0 na to, no? Kaya hindi ko na isusulat. Plus another constant C2. Okay? And then solve natin yung C2. Introduce ulit tayo ng another boundary condition. So, ganun ulit. At x is equal to 0, dapat walang deflection. So, y should be 0. So, therefore, this implies that C2 will also be 0. So, ito na yung formula natin for the elastic curve, for the deflection. Ito na yung formula natin. Okay? So, ngayon, ang kailangan nating malaman is yung maximum deflection. Hindi ba ang maximum deflection occurs at the zero slope? So, meaning y prime must be 0. Okay, so malalaman natin yung location ng x kung saan to mag-occur by setting this to 0. Okay? So therefore, uh, natin tuloy. Okay, so therefore, we have 0 is equal to, ito no, negative WL squared over 8x plus 5 over 16 WLX squared minus WX cubed over 6. Okay? At kung mapapansin natin, mayroong mga common factor, no? Common factor nila is W. So, pwede na natin cancelin yung W. Ano pa? So, meron silang common factor din na X. Pwede na natin cancelin yung X. So, X. Ito X to the 1 na lang. Ito X squared na lang. Okay? And I think pwede na yan. Okay, so we have 0 is equal to negative L squared over 8 plus 5 over 16 LX minus X squared over 6. Okay? Ngayon, kung gusto pa nating i-simplify pa, pwede pa natin ito i-multiply ng ano ba common factor na ito? 48, no? Pwede pa natin i-multiply ng 48. So magiging 0 is equal to negative 6L squared kasi 48 divided by 8 is 6, tama ba? 6. Okay? Tapos 48 times 5 over 16 is 15, no? 15 LX minus 8 x squared. Tapos dahil quadratic ito, pwede mong ma-solve yung x, no? Pwede mong i-solve yung x. Actually, pwede kang gumamit ng calculator, i-set mo lang yung L na 1. Okay, pwede mo lang i-set yung L na 1, no? Pero I'll show you, mano-mano muna, x is equal to, 'di ba ang formula is negative b, so negative nito. No, actually baliktarin natin yung sign, bali kapag transpose natin lahat sa kabila, magiging 8x squared minus 15lx plus 6l squared. So, ito na lang yung ano natin. Okay? So, di ba, negative b, so positive 15l plus minus square root of b squared, o di 15l squared minus 4a, yung a natin ay 8, tapos yung C natin ay 6L squared. Ayan, over 2A. Okay? So pag sinimplify, we have square root of, yung ito na muna, 15 squared minus 4 times 8 times 6. So square root of 33. No? So 15 plus or minus square root of 33 over 60. Tapos andito yung L. So yan yung location ng location ng maximum deflection, no? Point of zero slope. Kaya lang dalawa yan, no? You have to be careful. Yung isa diyan, hindi natin tatanggapin. Square root, kunyari yung plus. Tingnan natin yung plus. Okay, so 1.29 ng L. Di ba pag sinabi mong 1.29 ng L, lagpas na sa L yun, lagpas na yung sa span. Kaya hindi yan yung tatanggapin natin. Ang tatanggapin natin actually is itong minus. Ayan. Kasi 0.57. So that is within the span. Okay? So in short, burahin ko na tong plus, no? Minus na lang. Ayan yung location ng lowest point. Okay? All right. So, bali, para makuha mo na yung maximum deflection, bali kung ano man yung value nito, isa-substitute lang natin dito. Dito, tsaka dito. Tapos makukuha na natin yung maximum deflection. Okay? So, anyway, let's try that. So, EI, Y. Okay, so substitute ko ha. So, diretsuhin ko na sa calculator. Store ko na to sa A. Ayan, tinan nyo, no? So, eto, wag nyo intindihin to. WL squared lang naman yan lagi, no? So, tapos mamumultiply pa siya ng isa pang L dito. Kaya lagi yung WL to the fourth, no? Ganon din ito, WL to the fourth. So L, tapos tatlong L, so L to the fourth. Ito rin, L to the fourth. Okay? Kung hindi naintindihan, bakit naging L to the fourth? Kasi nga, di ba, ulitin ko, sa subshoot natin to dito. Eh, di ba may L yan? So, pag kinube mo yun, magiging L cube. Tapos yung L cube, mamumultiply sa L, magiging L to the fourth. So, in short, ano lang to? WL to the fourth. Tapos meron lang ditong coefficient, no, na pag sinimplify natin. So, pakita ko. So, magiging negative 1/16 times yung ito, no, nakalagay sa A, na naka-square. Ito yun. Plus 5 times A cube over 48. Tapos minus A to the fourth over 24. Ayan. Okay? So, just to double check, no, calc. So, ito yun, no? Yung 15 minus square root of 33 over 16. So, lalabas is negative 0.005416. So, pwede na yan. Turong ko lang to. So, negative 0.0054. No? Okay? So, pero lagay ko na lang to sa B. Store ko na lang to sa B. Shift store B. Ayan. Okay, tapos, dahil meron na tayo niyan, we can now define the maximum deflection. So, kumbaga, ito na yung maximum deflection natin. Okay, so our maximum deflection is negative 0.0054, ano nga yun? 16. WL to the fourth over EI. Okay? And kailangan daw, hindi ito lumagpas sa ilan? L over 360. Okay? So, ano yung W? No? Okay, tingnan natin. Meron tayong E kasi steel to, kaya automatic 200,000. Kaso wala tayong I. No? Kailangan natin ng I. Ang binigay lang kasi SX. Okay? So, kailangan ko ng IX. Alright. So, balikan lang natin ng kaunti. Ano ba yung definition ng SX? Ng S. Di ba definition nun is I over C? Okay? So, kung ito ay SX, ito ay IX. No? Tapos ito is measured along Y. Okay? Kasi 'di ba, parang lalabas ganito 'yan eh. Ito yung x-axis. So yung C natin measured along Y, ayan oh. Okay? At kung saan dito lumalabas yung maximum natin diyan, ano lang eh, d over 2, no? Kaya ibig sabihin yung Ix natin will just be Sx times Cy, which is also d over 2. Okay? So okay na tayo doon. So meron na tayong I. So ilagyan na natin ang values. So negative 0.005416. Hinahanap natin tong live load na to. Yung L natin ay 6 ba? 6 meters, no? Ayan. 6 meters. So gawin natin 6,000. No? 6,000 to the fourth over EI. So our E is 200,000. Tapos our I will be, sabi ko nga, SX times D over 2. So yung SX natin ay 3.72. Tapos yung D natin 540. And then this is 540 over 2. Okay, this should not exceed, no, 6,000 over 360. Okay? And actually, pwedeng makancel itong 6,000. So, magiging cube na lang yan. Tapos you can now solve for W live load. So, W live load will be equal, or rather, should not exceed. Should not exceed cross multiply 200,000, tsaka yung 3.72 times 10 to the 6, tsaka yung 540 over 2, tapos divide 360, divide natin nung B, tapos divide natin ng 6,000 cube. Okay? So lalabas ay 400. So yung negative dyan, dahil lang yan dito, no? Kasi negative kasi ibig sabihin pababa, no? So actually dapat negative din ito. Ayan, para pareha sila. Ibig sabihin na pababa na. So, ibig sabihin magpa-positive na ito. So, lalabas ay 476.97. Should not exceed 476.97 kilonewton per meter. So, you might be asking, sir, hindi ba yung units niyan, kasi ginawa kong lahat eh. Ginawa ko ito, Newton per millimeter, squared kasi megapascal, di ba? Ito naman, naka-millimeter to the fourth, di ba? So, naka-millimeter lahat. Hindi po ba yan? Dapat Newton per millimeter? Well, actually, that's correct, no? Correct yun. Pero, yung Newton per millimeter at saka kilonewton meter, parehas lang. Parehas lang yun. Kasi sa ibabaw, para maging kilonewton, magmumultiply ka ng 1,000. No? Ito naman, sa ilalim, para maging meter, magmumultiply ka rin ng 1,000. Kaya yung 1,000 sa ibabaw at yung 1,000 sa ilalim, magka-cancel lang. Kaya yung Newton per millimeter, parehas lang yun sa kilonewton per meter. So no need to convert. Okay? So anyway, ito na yung sagot natin. Alright? Actually, should not exceed, di ba? Kaya lang, of course, we just need to abide with the choices. As we can see, ang tamang sagot dito is letter A kasi yun yung closest. Pero technically speaking, kailangan hindi lumagpas dun sa 476 point something. Alright? But anyway, close enough is 477. Okay, may questions ba?